Hi everybody, this is Gijs again and I hope you are doing well. This time I am reviewing the Smith's Natural Tinder Maker and Fire Starter set. So if you are into sort of lightweight bushcraft and starting always your own campfire, watch the video. So, welcome to the review. Sometimes I'm really surprised about my own small country, the Netherlands, because I was walking in the forest and I found this really nice cabin, and it's probably made for animal watching, because right here where I'm sitting and that's going over that way is a deer trail, because I can see the prints in the ground. That's it. Let's start with the review of the Natural Tinder Maker with Fire Starter kit from Smith's. Let me get it out of its blister package, and of course I made the opening already before because I absolutely hate blister packaging. The set, it is a Firesteel that you might know. It's basically a rod made out of magnesium, and magnesium is a material that is very good for making sparks. It's also in fireworks, for example. Then you've got this scraper. It's a plastic one with a metal piece in there, and when you put 1 and 2 together and you scrape the scraper on the titanium magnesium, excuse me, then you see that you get a lot of sparks. And it's been raining a lot in the Netherlands, so this is absolutely safe. What I never saw was a set that comes with a wood grater. The idea behind this is that if you want to start a fire, you need really fine sawdust, because fine sawdust that is dry and full of, well, basically resin from, for example, pine trees, it's very easy to enlight with a Firesteel like this one. So let's try this. So I went for a quick walk in the forest and I got myself this piece of wood, which is nice to keep it from the ground so that the tinder is dry. Some pine, some small branches, there are more bigger branches, these are too wet, I won't use them. And I got this one off a fallen tree. Don't cut trees that are alive, it's not necessary. And I saw that this one was already having some resin on it, so this is a very good way of making fire with the grater. Now I have to take my knife just to clean it a bit, because I don't want to damage the grater with maybe sand that's sticking to it. Sorry about the color of the knife, but it really works, you never lose it. And then I take the grater. It's just a matter of getting the wood over the grater like you're doing cheese. And because there is a basket underneath it, the sawdust, it's the grate dust, is that the right word? It gets into the basket. And it doesn't take a lot of effort, it's really sharp. And then if I open it, you can see there is the sawdust in there. And now you can put the lid on it if you want to store your stuff for later. So you can take the stuff with you if you like. Now, what I didn't show yet, and something that I always have in my backpack, is a little plastic bag with my own tinder. And I'm not going to use this now because I have the grater, but what I do like to show you, and what I will use, is this little piece of birch wood. It is like paper, it's very, very thin. You peel it off, or a dead tree or a tree that's alive, but don't go too deep because then you might damage the tree. But this is really brilliant stuff to make fires with, even with just a fire start. Now what I always do is I take a little piece of this, scrape it a bit, wiggle it around and put it underneath there. Now you've got this papery like stuff, which is really fine. Okay, now on goes the sawdust, no, the grater dust, and it's really a fine material. What also is a good trick if you are a bit impatient like I am, is to get some of these magnesium stick already into the scrapings. Whoa, you just need some, because that starts, or that works like a fuel to get it going. this is. Now one thing that I noticed already is that the Firesteel itself, the Grater works fantastically, but the Firesteel itself, it's a bit small. It will work of course, but every time you do this, you lose a bit of the material itself, and I don't think this is going to last a very long time at home. No, I've got one in my backpack that's way bigger than this one. Now let me get the fire starting, and that's basically what it takes. Just one spark and you can start your fire, and then you put some sticks on there, and that's the combination of the sawdust and the birchwood. So on to the conclusion. How do I rate the Smith Natural Tinder Fire Starter set? I think the Grater is fantastic, it works like a treat. Then the Firesteel itself, I think it's a bit too small, and I think the magnesium part is a bit too tiny. It should have a bit more body because this will wear down very fast. Then the scraper itself, well, there's no problem in making this totally out of metal because that will last longer and works the same way. Because of those two minor things, but a fantastic price of €12.50, I rate the Smith Natural Tinder Maker Fire Starter set at 4 stars. I hope you liked the review and that it was useful to you, and if it was, please give it a like and leave a comment below if you've got anything to say, questions, advice whatsoever. You might know this already, I'm doing this work totally for free. I'm not being paid by manufacturers to make my reviews, and I would like to keep it this way. So the only thing I can do is get more followers. So if you've not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and like my Facebook page. All the links are below the video. And for now, many thanks if you start following me. Ciao and have a nice day outdoors.